Welcome everyone, I'm Dale, and this is Cinema Historia. A missing man, a new sheriff, and a town in fear. This week, we're going back to 1957 for a crime drama called Man in the Shadow, starring Jeff Chandler, Orson Welles, Colleen Miller, and Barbara Lawrence. And this is directed by Jack Arnold. So where does our story begin this week? Well, it begins with the cow town of Spurline. And Spurline is effectively ruled by Virgil Rentschler, played by Orson Welles. He's the owner of the Golden Empire Ranch. One night, some of Rentschler's hands beat up young laborer Juan Martin. The next day, a co-worker comes to visit the newly elected sheriff of Spurline, Ben Sadler, played by Jeff Chandler. The co-worker tells the sheriff he witnessed his friend being beat up and he thinks his friend has been murdered. Deciding to investigate a possible murder, the sheriff decides to visit the ranch. There, Virgil Rentschler states he has 400 or 500 workers on his ranch and can't keep track of all goings-on. Knowing he will have to contend with Rentschler's henchmen, the unsatisfied sheriff is asked to leave. Meanwhile, Virgil's daughter, Skippy, played by Colleen Miller, pays the sheriff a visit. Skippy states that she was secretly seeing Juan Martin and that it deeply upset her father. Since she heard a scream that same night, she fears her father has done something terribly wrong. Ranch employee Chet Honecker pays the sheriff a visit that same day as well. He states he remembers Juan walking drunk on the road and says he accidentally hit him with his car. An unsatisfied sheriff now finds himself under fierce opposition from the townspeople. They fear if he continues to investigate that Spurline would be ruined without the Golden Empire's business. So, is the Golden Empire Ranch covering up a murder? Will the townspeople of Spurline let the newly elected sheriff continue an investigation? Or will Sheriff Ben Sadler shrug off violence and fear to find justice? Originally titled Pay the Devil, this film was actually listed as an action crime drama western. In fact, it was Orson Welles' first western role. He even rewrote sections of the script. The director, Jack Arnold, says Welles was wonderful to work with and offered many good ideas. An 80% audience score from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes. Audience review makes such claims as one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's a gem that definitely deserves more attention. I cannot recommend this movie enough. One of Jeff Chandler's best acting roles and worth a watch for classic film fans. And that it is. And the trivia question this week, was this the last film for someone who played in this movie? Was this the last film for someone who played in this movie? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Now, since Jeff Chandler plays the main character in our film, I thought it might be interesting to talk more about this actor's history. So, Jeff Chandler was an American actor, film producer, and singer, best remembered for his role in the film Broken Arrow of 1950, for which he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was one of Universal Pictures' more popular male stars of the 1950s. Born Ira Grossell to a Jewish family in Brooklyn, the only child of Anna and Philip Grossell. He attended Erasmus Hall High School, where he acted in many school plays, alongside schoolmate Susan Hayward. Chandler said he always wanted to act, but courses for commercial art were cheaper, so he studied art for a year and worked as a layout artist for a mail order catalog for $18 a week. Eventually, he saved enough money to take a drama course at the Fegan School of Dramatic Art in New York, where he also worked briefly in radio. Chandler formed his own company, the Shady Lane Playhouse, in Illinois in the summer of 1941. The company toured the Midwest presenting such plays as The Bad Man and Seventh Heaven with some success. When America entered World War II, Chandler enlisted in the Army. He served for 4 years, finishing with the rank of lieutenant. After being discharged from the Army, Chandler moved to Los Angeles in December of 1945 with $3,000 he had saved. He initially struggled to find work in Hollywood and had spent his savings when he got his first job as a radio actor in 1946. Chandler had appeared on air in Rogues Gallery with Dick Powell, who was impressed by the actor and put pressure on Columbia to give Chandler his first role, a small part as a gangster in Johnny O'Clock, starring Dick Powell and Evelyn Keyes in 1947. Jeff Chandler went on to star in over 50 films from 1947 to 1961, and a singing career that produced 3 albums. While working on Merrill's Marauders film in April of 1961, Chandler injured his back playing baseball with some film extras. After surgery for a spinal disc herniation, severe complications arose, and he passed away on June 17, 1961, at the age of 42. Close colleagues stated he always had an easy, lighthearted approach on the set that helped ease some of the strain of production. He will be sadly missed. And the answer to our trivia question this week: was this the last film for someone who played in this movie? Yes, it was, and it was Barbara Lawrence who played the sheriff's wife. Barbara Lawrence was an American model, actress, and real estate agent. She won a Tiny Tot beauty contest when she was 3 years old. A starlet from Hollywood's golden age who later became a novelist and publicist as well. Lawrence, who has a star on the Walk of Fame, appeared in 30 movies and 70 television shows from the late 1940s to the early 1960s. She was usually cast as the leading lady's best friend, or if there was a man involved, she played his worst enemy. I think you'll enjoy this movie. If you watch the review I did on Bad Day at Black Rock with Spencer Tracy, then I know you'll enjoy this one as well. And I hope you enjoy my videos. And if you do, can you help keep the sheriff away and hit the subscribe button? Thanks for watching, everyone. And I hope to see you back next week.